Hello everybody, this is Gareth Goon Speaks back here with another video for you. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post, or otherwise you could donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. Or otherwise you could look me up on YouTube, X and TikTok. On X, it's Jem and Gareth Cahoon Speaks. On YouTube, it's Gareth Cahoon Speaks. And on YouTube, you'll be able to see the videos that get banned elsewhere and on X too. But on YouTube in particular, you'll be able to see the created playlists that I watch when I'm not posting on social media myself. This story starts off with Knesset member smashes Palestinian terror memorials as the Israeli Defense Forces warns Jewish violence could ignite Judea and Samaria. Netanyahu slams Sukkot for taking law into own hands, interfering with the Israeli Defense Forces. Military officials have warned Israel's political leadership that violent attacks by radical Jewish settler groups, like the events in Kusara over the past weeks, could ignite Judea and Samaria in a new wave of Palestinian violence and terror, Israeli media reported on Monday. But the very morning Knesset members v Sukkot religious Zionism party triggered another wave of outrage after footage of him demolishing a memorial for terrorists in the Palestinian town went viral. Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu criticised Sukkot for taking the law into his own hands and interfering with the IDF's mission against terrorism. The military harshly condemned Sukkot for misleading his army escort about the aim of his visit to the area, while even coalition members criticised the provocative act. The Israeli Defense Forces warning was reportedly highlighted during Monday's high-level security assessment with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu at the IDF Central Command near Jerusalem, which focused on the security challenges in the Judea and Samaria sectors. According to Channel 12 News, Central Command Chief Major General Avi Bluth said at a meeting there has been a significant decline in the scope of Palestinian terrorism over the past 2 years, but there is a match that can set everything on fire in an instant, and that is nationalist crime, using the Israeli term for violence committed by Jewish radicals against Palestinians. According to Bluth, the IDF attention is constantly diverted to such incidents instead of containing Palestinian terrorism. The military has warned that its current 26 battalions in the area are not enough to effectively deal with all the challenges, particularly with quickly evolving threats. The report also cited security officials warning that the combination of current trends could become a recipe for disaster. Sukkot has been affiliated with radical groups of settlers in the past, having served as the Jewish Power Party CEO. He has often made headlines with deliberately provocative acts, including in recent weeks by breaking into an Arab school in northern Israel and smashing a ceramic plate with a Palestinian flag at the entrance to a school in Jerusalem. Sukkot's actions caused even Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has refrained from commenting on these events in Kusara, to weigh in. The IDF is overriding authority on security in Judea and Samaria and is entrusted with implementing the decisions of the political echelon. He said in a statement, taking the law into his own hands, particularly by public figures, is unacceptable and hinders the IDF from focusing on its mission of combating terror and incitement. The IDF's concern about the sensitive situation was underlined by its unusually harsh response to Sukkot's actions on Tuesday. It stated that Sukkot had misled them by requesting to conduct a tour of memorials to slain terrorists in several villages in Samaria's brigade sector, located in Area A and B, which are under Palestinian control. Sukkot and several of his aides conducted the memorial tour under the protection of the Israeli Defense Forces that were diverted from their regular activities for this mission. Contrary to the coordination, the participants acted deceptively and manipulatively, without authority and in complete violation of the approved framework, and began demolishing one of the monuments in the village of Madama. Within a short while, the troops were ordered to stop Sukkot and remove him and his aides from the village. The Israeli Defense Forces designated for operational missions in the area were diverted for the purpose of this mission and were unnecessarily placed at risk, all while the IDF is under significant operational strain, the military charged. The IDF used the conduct and lack of coordination by the Knesset member as serious and as an exploitation of the security forces' protection to completely overstep his authority. The military also noted that it regularly demolishes such memorials in legal ways, with the IDF sources later telling Channel 12 that the military had already planned to demolish the monument in the coming weeks. Sukkot published a picture of himself with a sledgehammer next to the monument, writing in X that every child who sees every day a giant monument that glorifies murderers of Jews will dream of being a terrorist. He argued that he appealed to the IDF to demolish it several times, but in the meantime, there is a small taste from this morning in the village of Madama at the monument commemorating the murders of dozens of Jews. Sukkot's actions drew quick and strong condemnation from opposition leaders, but also from coalition members and even party colleagues. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar stated that Sukkot, like any other Knesset member, is not the sovereign in the territories of Judea and Samaria. Decisions must be made and implemented by the state and its authorities, the IDF and the security forces, and by them alone. This is also what public representatives should convey to the public. Regrettably, Mr. Sukkot knowingly did the exact opposite. The chair of Sukkot's religious Zionism faction, Ohad Tal, charged, "I want to understand, is this a move coordinated with the campaign? Is there some sophisticated strategy here that I'm not understanding? Or have we simply decided to commit political suicide?" David Peter, an attorney who represented government officials and frequently appears as a judicial analyst on Israeli TV, lamented that there are elected officials who unfortunately have not internalized what they are not that they're not a protest movement, that they are a government, and that entails responsibility and maturity. They do not understand the international perspective on events of this kind. I foresee a very bleak future internationally. The developments in Europe and the United States are not exactly reassuring. We will not have the privilege of making mistakes for much longer, Peter warned. Yashar Party leader Gadi Eisenkot said Sukkot's conduct was a disgrace and tarnished the entire national religious sector, while blaming Netanyahu for allowing anarchists like Zvi Sukkot and his ilk to do whatever they please. Naftali Bennett, leader of the Together Party, accused the government of chaos, of harming the country, standing to scrape together views on TikTok. So this, unfortunately, could have been dealt with in a very different way. Yes, the monument needed taken down, but in the right way. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.